Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is a digital aspect. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Hope you guys are having an absolutely great morning. Hope your day will get even better. I'm trying to hop onto Binance to kind of see what's going on in the market. A lot of great stuff with BTC over 13,000 for sure. Huh? 9:30. But it is very exciting to see it staying above 13,000 without question. That is very, very good. $13,200. So, yeah, pretty cool. And I think it was 13,000 and 70 bucks about 3 hours ago. And so that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. It's doing this thing. XRP is 25 cents. It's an interesting thing that it's able to stay there at its prices. It's pretty interesting to see. Uh, yeah, really, really interesting to see. Um, it's funny. I've come across now, I think, two people that are really, really adamant that VeChain is paying news sites or crypto sites, um, not really having legitimate partnerships, I guess. I don't know. It's really, really very, very interesting. I know there's always been this hesitancy of all the partnerships, because of all the partnerships really coming out of China, if you will. Um, really interesting. Sonny does not, to me, seem like to be a dishonest guy. So and why the two or three people so adamant on, you know, uh, proving that point about the VeChain partnerships and stuff, the foundation paying sites to put stuff that, and then when if you research it further, there's not legitimate sites. I watched Crypto Eddie's video early this morning, and she did some second and third kind of verification, and from the gist of that video, um, it seemed to me that those were legit working relationships, whatever they might be. So very, very interesting. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Uh, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, But I watched a video with a guy, an American. He did a really, really long video, and I guess it was two or three people on the video, and it was really, really, really good read, good listen to, I should say. Uh, but really, really excited, and he had some stuff about what was going on with the U.S. and VeChain. So hopefully I'll pull it up and do a follow up video on that, because I am a little concerned that there's questions with these veracity of allegations, if you will, about VeChain's validity in their partnership. So we'll go over that in another time. But I wanted to share this from CoinDesk because I just think it's funny. First mover Bitcoin steady over 13K is JP Morgan has and a eureka moment. Just yeah, and I don't know if it didn't come directly out of his mouth, but it's from his company and the people at his company in the derivatives market. It's pretty funny to me. Bitcoin was higher, appearing to hold above 13,000 for the first time since January of 2018. But the most drama in crypto markets came after an exploit of the decentralized finance protocol Harvest Finance sent the platform's native farm token tumbling by 65% in less than an hour. Yeah, I tell you, that DeFi space is something you have to be so hugely careful. Um, Sometimes our greatest strength can be our greatest weaknesses. As my mentor used to always say to me, DeFi is really, really hot. Um, and everybody knows it, and that includes the bad guys. And so if you don't put something out there that's legitimate and that is hack proof, if you will, these type of things can happen. It happened with Yam. Now it looks like it's happened with Harvest Finance, which their native platform token is Farm. So And these guys put these things together because it's a big time money grab. You know, and they get the retail investors coming in, and then the bad guys, if you will, they see that and they can go out there and steal people's money. So it's just you got to be really, 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 really careful. Um, it's interesting that this article is titled this, and the first thing they're talking about is that DeFi thing. Where's the little quote from the people from? Okay, now as Bitcoin mounts, what might be its most durable rally in almost 3 years, the bulls may have to get used to a new sensation. Vindication. Analysts for JP Morgan, the largest U.S. bank, wrote Friday in a report that Bitcoin has considerable price upside in the long term. How about that? I wonder if they got fired. I wonder if Jamie Dimon fired those dudes or dudettes. As reported by Context, Zach Vol. Bitcoin's increasing use as an alternative to gold is amplified by millennials' interest in cryptocurrency, according to the report written by JP Morgan's Global Quantitative and Derivative Strategy team. Even a modest crowding out of gold as an alternative currency over the longer term would imply doubling or tripling of the Bitcoin price. Doubling or tripling. From here, the analyst wrote. So I just think it's very, very interesting. And it's pretty hard to resist dredging up JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon's memorable remark in 2017 that Bitcoin was a fraud. Yes, let us not ever forget. He said this as well. If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day, Dimon said at the time. Vindication, huh? Interesting stuff coming out of that dude in his camp. Yeah, not a fan. Just not a fan at all. So here's another thing I wanted to share with you guys. Ripple partner Terra to boost remittance flow from Canada with FinTech license. Shout out to Chainsaw Jackson at XRP Jackson for sharing this. How am I following you, my friend? Well, here, let's make that happen. Thank you, my friend, for taking your time, your energy, and resources to share with the community. And this is on you today. And I think it was originally put out by Newswire, PR Newswire, I believe. Yep, as reported by PR Newswire, Ripple and MoneyGram partner TerraPay has registered with the Financial Transactions and Reports Analytical Center of Canada, FinTrack. A license from this organization will enable TerraPay to expand its presence in the international market of remittances and will allow it to expand the use of its remittance infrastructure to immigrants in Canada. Absolutely very, very, very great news there. TerraPay has been making some moves and doing this thing, and it is obviously definitely is a Ripple partner. I'm not going to read too much of this, but TerraPay expands its North American presence. One of the leading global payments platforms, TerraPay, is registered with FinTrack and acquired its license, thus reaching another milestone in its business development. At the moment, Canada is digesting a rising wave of immigrants in order to take its economy to new highs and to make things easy for new employees that have been coming from abroad. Canada decided to improve the remittance infrastructure to make it easier for newcomers to transact cash back home. So TerraPay is making some moves, getting another license so they can start to do more business in Canada. That's very exciting stuff there. This is interesting from this actually got this from Michael, goodness, I forget his name now, Manfield. I think it was Michael Manfield. India preps a fintech regulatory sandbox, a regulatory sandbox for smart city hub. And hopefully this will be some DLT stuff and sort of crypto stuff in here. But India is prepping fintech regulatory sandbox for a smart city hub. Indian regulators have set out the framework for a fintech regulatory sandbox designed to help firms experiment in a live environment. And you know how these regulatory innovation sandbox work. Hopefully this is going to involve digital assets as well, though there's no mention of it. This is an interesting thing. I think this is important to really, really think about. Shout out to Richard Field for sharing this. Banks are insolvent. Banks are insolvent. Banks are insolvent. It's not the first one to say that. I've heard Rich Dad say that as well. Fed has been, Robert Kiyosaki, Fed has been covering the insolvency of the banks since 2018. The Fed has been covering the insolvency of banks since 2018. At this point, what is needed is a debt jubilee rather than continuing with the failed policy of foaming the runway for insolvent banks. Bankruptcy filings, according to Lisa Abramowitz, are surging, and many lenders are coming to the realization that their claims are almost completely worthless. Bond defaults deliver 99% losses in the new era of U.S. bankruptcies, according to Bloomberg. That is heavy. Debt Jubilee, we talked about that. The Great Reset, that has been talked about time and time again. And the question is really, are you prepared for it? Are you in a position to deal with it, prepare for it, benefit from it, possibly? New era of U.S. bankruptcies. Wow. 3 cents, 2 cents, even a mere 0.125 cents on the dollar. More and more. These are the kinds of scraps that bondholders are fighting over as companies go belly up. Bankruptcy filings are surging due to the beer code, and many lenders are coming to the realization that their claims are almost completely worthless. Instead of recouping, say, 40 cents for every dollar owed, as has been the norm for years, unsecured creditors now face the unenviable prospect of walking away with just pennies, if that. While few have foreseen the pandemic, the beer code's toll on the economy, the depth of investors' pain from corporate distress was all too predictable. Despite desperate to generate higher returns during a decade of rock bottom interest rates, money managers bargained away legal protections, accepted ever widening loopholes. Wow. And turned a blind eye to questionable earnings projections. Wow. Corporations, for their part, took full advantage and gorged on astronomical amounts of debt that many now cannot repay or refinance. Interesting stuff right there. That, my friends, is what you would say not exciting. That's pretty scary stuff right there. Very pretty scary stuff. Let's go here. This is a shout out to XRP. Crow Stetta shared this with us, guys. So let's got to be really, really careful. The bad guys, they're trying to be careful of the phishing emails. Don't click on it if you're not familiar with it. Don't click on it. Always go to the original source of the site. Go to the original source of someone that you know. Be careful with these phishing sites in your emails. Don't click on them. They're dangerous. Don't do it, guys. Do not do it. If it's trying to come from someone you know, if it's trying to come from something that you're familiar with, just go to the original source. Get out of the email and go to the original source to verify. Status shares here with us. Shout out to Status. Big time value add to the community. This was a fake phishing attempt sent from legder.com. The G and D are swapped. No breach has happened, but be cautious. Download the latest versions from the original web, which is LEDGER, ledger.com. Change your PIN frequently. Keep your key phrases and passwords offline. Thank you, Status, for sharing this, my friend. Guys, very, very important to know. Just understand with this bull market and other stuff's about to happen. Bad guys can be out there trying to do your thing. And you just have to be prepared as best as you possibly can. Again, if you're familiar with the name or if you're familiar with the company, go outside of the emails to directly to the source to check it out. This is from Joker. I think this was interesting. This is a guy again from years past. Has been a guy who's been really spot on in his predictions in digital assets and the pricing and moves. He really has. I'm going to give him 80-something% accuracy. Is my experience with this guy here. So it says this Christmas will be a great one. This is from Joker at Kia Crypto on Twitter. This Christmas will be a great one, he says. Gold above 2,500. Silver above $40. Bitcoin at all-time highs this year, he says. XRP above $1 this year. And deflationary theorists still in disbelief and threatened by the incoming hyperinflation. Wow. Nothing is more bullish than that. He's got a hashtag gold rush, hashtag crypto rush. So yeah, definitely want to save this one and see how that's going to look. So you talk of 2020, said this year. Interesting stuff from the Joker. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.